G, welcome to early days.
What up?
I spend my whole life chasing you. When will you come home to me?
I want to have you on the show today because I want to talk to you about what you're building down in San Antonio. So thanks for coming out.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Love coming into the lab out here, seeing all the people heads down, building, plugged in. Good environment,
Yeah,
contagious.
tell us about the whole timeline. Let's kind of give a rundown of how you scaled to launching a physical space called Alamo Labs and how that story began and then and what's happening now.
It's been about 3 years, a little bit over 3 years now. We've been building in San Antonio. We started off just by inspiration from Austin Bitcoin Club out here. Wanted to meet local plebs from my hometown. Started building, started inviting different speakers. We're very blessed and fortunate to live so close. Been able to get out pleb devs, Uncle Jim, different builders, just to show the people in San Antonio, Bitcoin's more than just an investment. Um, my whole thing about it is we try and tug at the different hearts of different people to really bring them in. Um, so yeah, we've been doing that for the last 3 years. Doctors, farmers, developers, venture capitalists, Bitcoin CEOs, you name it. We pretty much brought them all in. Bitcoin Magazine. Um, so it's been going really good. I've had a lot of support. We've been growing very organically. So the right people have been showing up essentially. I know my parents have been supporters since the beginning, and they're kind of freaked out because these people will come up and just ask to help, for no reason. But yeah, it's been great. So we've been doing that, and then recently came to the point was like, are we gonna make a move and scale up, or are we gonna stay the same? And just the timing was right, I think, with everything going on with these new players coming into the space as far as commercial buyers, Bitcoin, and then you also have these new spaces coming in here as well. Like we've taken a lot of inspiration from obviously Pleb Lab, and now the newest one, the space in Denver, and also Presidio Bitcoin as well. I think there's also another one that just opened up down there in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Brazil. Yeah, so they've been popping up everywhere. It's been great. It's kind of crazy because I remember you saying a while back that was going to be the next move, and here we are with Bitcoin citadels popping up everywhere, which I think is beautiful. A lot of people say, why San Antonio? I used to say, why not? But now it's like, hey, we're the seventh largest city in America and number two in cybersecurity. So it's like bound to happen, right?
So let's jump into the I want to talk about the building aspect and because I don't I think this gets glossed over like all the time when you start thinking about the next phase of like community. So, when we first started doing the we started doing Pleb Lab, we started off a meetup, but it was like it was overflowing. Like when we started Austin Bitcoin Club, there was like 200 plus people showing up to this thing,
Mhm.
and it was people that were begging us to like create a physical space. Like they were like like there's people like begging us to do this, and so we had a office inside of Capital Factory, and these people there was like it was we were in a shoebox basically. And there was like 10, 15 people in a shoebox like committed to this space that we were given from them. And so talk about that. Like why did you feel now was the time to do it? What was it about that kind of like pressure from the community in San Antonio? And talk about why that's important too as well. Because I think that gets glossed over. And I think people go from, hey, I just want to do it for my ego, or I just want to do it because I got extra Bitcoin laying around. Talk about why that's important to you.
You're listening to your community, man. At first I didn't see this coming, or nor did anybody else. Started with an idea though. We were just like Pleb Lab. Went into a co-working space eventually after running the meetup for a couple months. And from there, it was kind of just getting others to catch the bug. It's interesting because I have one guy right now that's really boots on the ground. He's electric right now, man. He's on fire. Makes it easier for me. Um, but yeah, it just, bringing on people like that, I've had random people show up to the meetups. Maybe I see them again, maybe I don't. People online, they've reached out to us and they told me personally, like, San Antonio needs to be a Bitcoin citadel, or why isn't San Antonio a Bitcoin citadel? Like, I have all the answers, right? I'm just literally serving, community. Um, but yeah, that was a constant little message here and there. My buddy Will, shout out Will, he recently started diving more into Bitcoin. I took him a while to catch the fever, but I mean, he's starting to experience it now to where he sees the big picture like I do. Um, we might be seeing different parts of this big picture, but the big picture in general is uh, build a strong community in San Antonio, and also, a Bitcoin citadel, something that's credible, something that could stand on its own. Um, no scamminess, no, nothing dirty about it, just all about community, openness, local. And yeah, it's where we're at right now. So Will just caught on fire, came back. We need to do this. And yeah, in this space, I mean, I've seen people and others, and I've heard others say building a citadel is hard. Building a Bitcoin workspace is hard, and it is. It's definitely been more of a challenge from running a meetup. Because I still remember back in the day when the meetups were the hard thing to do. A lot of pressure, doing the artwork, getting the wordage right, putting the post up, making sure you have the venue, the food, the drinks. It was a lot of the small things. I wish I could go back to just worrying about a lot of that. But now it's okay, let's go represent San Antonio. Like, let's really put our foot down. And it was awesome because we went to the community, and I've never asked for any support at all. And a lot of the people really were pretty much waiting for us to just ask them. And once we were structurally set up right, that was when we went back to the community. And yeah, they've given us a lot of support so far. So now it's just execution, and that's been my thing in Bitcoin. I feel like that'll take anybody far in this space, whether you're a developer, community builder, designer, book writer, anything. Just execute, get it done. It doesn't matter at the end of the day how you get it done, just do it. Um, so yeah, that's where we're at right now with all this. And yeah, man, it's been a wild ride so far. Uh, Now we just got the space actually. So we just got the keys the first of this month. So it's been a very busy week moving in everything. Setting up all the placement. I look at all the Bitcoin places and all the Bitcoin citadels everywhere, and they all have cool layouts. So you do a little pressure to make it cool. Uh, the little things that come along with it is like you don't want to make it too loungy. I do want to have it as a workspace, respectable place, not just somewhere just to go hang out, but also somewhere to hang out as well too. Just a place for. We're not calling it a third space or like I don't know, we're calling it a community space. In San Antonio, they're not aware about any of this language. So like, no, it's a community space. We're here to build community. Um, but it's been great, man. Now with the challenges of that, so we're in the place, furnishing it now. So that's been a thing, you always hear about people wanting to run lean. So definitely, on the lookout for furniture. That's been cool. Asking for donations, since we are a 501c3 nonprofit. Along with the donations, though, we're gonna go into the tedious things. That's when you have to open up like different payment rails. Uh, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Basically, when you sign up with Zapra, you pretty much just choose, all your payment methods. So that was another little thing. And it's not that it's hard. It's more of like I want to get this done. You talk about these people and these community builders and these citadels, and it's like, why are we doing this, right? Um, for a while, I was contemplating that. For me, it's in my heart. Um, gave up. I really gave up getting rich a long time ago. Yeah. Everyone says they were in a boating accident, all this stuff, yada yada yada. I can literally, honestly tell people like I'm spending it on my community. Like, what can you tell me that's so bad about that? If you're gonna tell me I'm dumb for spending or any of this stuff, it's like, well, I can battle that by saying, some things are greater than money. Whether that be legacy or family, you name it. But a great question came up recently too, questioning like why Bitcoiners do what they do, because we could just hodl and be amazing. But it's like this question I heard was, do we ever see the impact of our works? Somebody that sets out to make change, do they ever see the impact of their what they set out to do? And it was a great question I'd heard because it was in one of the spaces and no one had an answer at first. It was kind of like, damn. And then I thought about it for a second afterwards. I thought about it and eventually I just did some research, man. Like deep searching came to the conclusion. It's like, the first question is, does anybody that ever sets out to make change, are you looking for your impact? Are you out there looking to see people cheering for you and you're on the news and you're in the magazines and there are some people out there like that and good for them. And there's other people I read though where it's like, these people that are involved in this grand scheme of things, they don't see the impact because they're so close to the picture. They're working on the details. So their focus is right here in front of them. I got to do this. Then I got to do this over here. But it's beautiful though, because the more we build community and the more movers and shakers that come into San Antonio, and we've had people been hitting us up after we rolled it out at Bitcoin Park the other month. And they come in and they see me working on this little piece of the picture and I'm dialed in like details. But once they see the big picture, guess what? They can go to another part of that big picture and start working on little details on this part of the picture. So that's one here, and then guess what? Somebody comes and starts doing this picture, this part of the picture, and then this part of the picture. Before you know it, it's a team effort. It's a community effort to paint this picture, which is this, helpful community where anybody can come in. No dumb questions are asked. Nothing but truth is shared, whether it be good, bad, or ugly. And yeah, just turn around the economics of the city, man, from a dog eat dog city to everyone has skin in the game. So how can I help you win? You know, um, so it goes deeper than it goes deep, man. It's not a competition over any of these spaces. Definitely, Austin has a very special place in my heart, as well as ATL Bit Labs everywhere else. I respect everyone that what they're doing. Um, just everybody, like I've been saying about the meetups, every citadel is gonna have their own niche. What ours has been so far is a community. I mean, not community. I'm sorry, education. Um, I talk with everybody, devs, miners. Everyone says that the core root of the problem in Bitcoin is education. It all goes back to it. Starts with education, goes back to it. So yeah, it's what we've really been leaning on with the people back home. And it's not only education on these topics like cryptographic seed phrase. Like I'm gonna look at the locals down there and be like, it's just 12 words. Just write it down. That's all you need. You don't need to learn about why it's secure, all the back end stuff. If you want, we can show you, but it's 12 words. No one can steal them. Your wallet made them. Keep them safe. Lose them, you're done. So things like that, man, and just bringing in like devs to start hopefully running some bid devs here soon, some lid devs. Just bringing more awareness to the city. You know, recently, um, a lot of congratulations have been coming back from San Antonio, like from the local tech communities. So that's been really nice to hear. And we've really just been establishing ourselves lately in the city as a resource. Um, non-biased, just straight up education. Here you go. This is what Bitcoin is. And sometimes you gotta say this is what we'll teach Bitcoin / blockchain. Oh, okay. But then I'm like, yeah, it's just Bitcoin when you come in here. Like Bitcoin is the blockchain. And it's the easy little things like that that it's just you want to pepper into people. We're not after the starting Bitcoiners or the experience. It's more like that 80% in between,
Yeah.
you know, the general population. Basically just make it cool, man. Build up the community down here in South Texas. I've told you before, and everyone at Pleb Lab, I see it. It's pleb country down here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a one big community, man. And you know, it takes one person. If I have to tell anybody anything about building, that was a message that resonated with me at Grassroots this last year. Me and you have talked about it in the past, but it's growing popularity, and somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, totally. It's it's interesting because you mentioned a lot of things there, and I want to cover it all, but just to answer that impact question, because like I've been getting a lot into scripture a lot lately since because I'm a big fan of prayer, and I'm a big fan of going to church and just staying inside of the cathedral and just bringing my problems to God, like literally like taking them and saying, hey, these are your problems, and help me think through them, and just getting discernment, and I've come to realize like a lot of the stuff that we're building right now really doesn't matter. Like it in the grand scheme of things, you look out like 1,000 years, 500 years,
Mhm.
100 years, even 25 years, 10 years, none of it's going to be here. Like it really doesn't move the needle. So at the end of the day, you got to look at like what are you actually trying to do?
For sure.
And so what you're really trying to do, and this is how I look at it, this is kind of what scripture says. It literally is just a pebble. You're throwing a pebble into a stream, into a lake, and you hope that your impact is enough of a ripple effect that you impact somebody else, and they throw a pebble, and then it ripples, and then it throws another pebble, they impact somebody else, that throws another pebble,
Like that.
and then it ripples enough to create a wave over the course of time. And so that's all you need to do is, so if my pebble is enough to push somebody else to do another bigger rock, and then it leads, and then that is the thing that reverberates across time and space, and that's the thing that changes the course of history. And that's all you really need to do, and that's how you should,
I
at
mean,
least that's how I measure impact now, is like, because in the early days I used to always think of like, oh, what's the end goal? Is it like this? And these days, because I'm a lot older now, I'm much more wiser. It's like, no, like I just need to optimize for more impact, and less about my ego, less about like the outcome of these situations, less about power, less about
yeah.
greed, and more about impact. Like, what's the most amount of impact can I get if I dial in whatever these levers are, right? And that's how I look at it. So it's always fascinating to me to hear people's answers to those types of questions. The other thing I was going to mention was when you guys got into the space, you guys got the keys and stuff. Like, what was, because I remember the first time that happened to me. What was that like? Was that
It
that was
was
special, right? Like, what did you feel when that happened?
leading up to it, it was different, just change. You know, everyone it's always a little weird. I'm sure it was weird for y'all when y'all moved out of Capital Factory. A little exhilarating.
Yeah, but what was it like when you walked into the space for the first time? Did you tear
Dude,
up? Did you go like,
I felt
wow?
that I felt that peace already,
Yeah.
man. My anxiety was gone. Like it's like okay, we're here now, and To be honest, I think I've been more nervous in the past than that. So whenever that moment came, it was kind of like, okay, we're finally here. Let's get to work.
Oh wow, so you're just like ready to go.
I don't
Yeah.
want to waste any time,
Interesting.
man. You know, just money down the drain. No. It feels very a relieving feeling. It kind of feels surreal that we're here. Um, but very confident in what we have down there. And yeah, we have a lot of cool ideas, a crazy roadmap. You know, what we're hoping to do is be able to inspire any other plebs out there in America or the world that want to do something similar. You know, we're not these crazy VC backed. We're not backed by anybody. It's all community driven. So we want to bring this model to real life, and hopefully we can expand on that and, you know, help other non-New York cities maybe get a citadel, you know. Of course you have your New Yorks, your Miamis, your LAs, your Austin, but then you also have these sister cities which are an hour out, maybe two, big tech community, big Bitcoin scene. It's like, hey man, you know, get it up and going. You got enough help, you got enough support. It doesn't need to be all over the internet or Bitcoin magazine, or it doesn't need to be all over, you know, Bitcoin Twitter. Just just go build, man. I don't know, it's weird. It's like you have to have a vision. You know, I know y'all here in Austin, from the outside it looks like you are just moving. Um
Well, I
but
think for Club Lab, like it took us a while to find out what we were, but
mhm,
I think now it's more apparent than anything. Like we're trying to mint more Bitcoin companies,
mhm,
and that's all we need to ever do. And for the longest time, a lot of what we did was on the developer side,
mhm.
but that was because none of it existed.
Yeah.
There was no hackathons when we came in, so we had to make them. There were no workshops, so we had to do them. None of that existed.
Yeah.
And so we had to like lay the foundation for a
Mhm,
lot of that stuff before we could even get to a lot of the to the stuff that we do now. So like Top Builder is an example of that. Like all these
yeah.
kind of competitions and programs. Like there was no Wolf when we started our accelerator.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Like we came and we had to lay the foundation for a lot of those things. We're plebs. Like there was, and we didn't have a lot of money.
Sure.
We had like we were given a very small, what would be considered to these days like a grant
Mm.
from a small little syndicate of plebs, Lightning Ventures, right? They gave us a small little syndicate of money, which was you know, from these all these, you know, hundreds of like plebs that gave us their money to go start Pleb Lab. And since then, that's been it. That's all we've ever raised. That's why, like for me, it was a way different approach than what you see now, where it's like, oh, here's $1 million grant, and here's you start a 501, and like go off and like spend
Yeah.
all this money on your
Yeah.
hub, and good luck, bro.
Check it out. Yeah.
And like spend all this money on furniture, and it's like, dude, I wish I could have came in like that. Like I'm not saying I'm jealous or anything. I'm
Of
just
course.
saying like I wish a lot of the foundation was laid, and I wish we could have came in and saw like, oh, I like how they did that. I like how they did that. I like how they did that. I like how they did that.
Yeah.
Because then I could have just cherry picked and saw, like I saw how they failed there. Like I saw how they like, and then I could have just said, oh, I want to just do that.
Mhm.
We didn't get that opportunity. So a lot of our missteps and a lot of the money that we spent was all on missteps. And so, dude, we had to learn the hard way, like literally the hard way. And now I would say we're barely, you know, have
Mm.
gotten ourselves in a direction of like, oh, we know exactly where we are, we know exactly where we're going. Now we're headed in the right direction, and that took us like 4 years, and we're in year 5 now.
See,
So
and
I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah,
you
yeah.
yeah, you say y'all messed up and stuff, and you
I
know,
don't think we missed up. I
oh,
think
I mean
we had
missteps.
missteps. Yeah, but every
Of course.
startup has that. Yeah.
Hey, only Jesus is perfect, right? No, but I mean, what's been cool about it is like I told my buddy Will when we started this space, you know, we're in contact and we're in great standing with all the Bitcoin spaces in the world, in America. And you know, we do exactly what you said. And I told him, I was like, you know, that's been the story of these spaces. They just cherry pick off of the last ones and clean it up better, which is great.
Yeah, it's
It's just
awesome.
showing improvement, man. Like where Denver's at right now compared to where the when the park came out, man, Denver came out on fire. So that was pretty cool to see. Um, and it's a great it's an all in the spirit of, it's not even competition. It's like, how can we help you help us help you? I don't know. It's another a weird thing because like for us in San Antonio, we're not building it to be like, oh, the Mecca of Texas. No, it's just we want something local. Not everyone's gonna drive to Austin. The message needs to be shared to the people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, um, just like you, we've taken missteps as well.
You think so? What
Oh,
missteps
yeah.
have y'all taken?
Just little things, man, like paying for stuff you maybe shouldn't have paid for, saving money here and there, like on like different licenses and legal fees and all that stuff, setting up like the paperwork for the LLCs and the nonprofits, little things like that. Yeah, I just go with what God tells me is the right move, and so far everything's worked out, man. I found out you can't do it alone, and it's been great. Like from the outside, I've had a lot of people been saying they like how we're moving. They've been seeing growth, so that was another reason why they wanted to support. And I don't want to get this message twisted. Like the whole point of doing this in your community is you have to be able to show value. We're not just throwing meetups and, oh, hey, Bitcoin's going up or Bitcoin went down, 100K party. Those are cool, but the whole point, to exist and to keep going and to bring new people in is, how are you going to be valuable in your community? Because you're not going to survive if you can't provide any value, especially in this space where it's, free information all over the place. So we've been really hammering on just keeping the signal high, keeping the value there, and just being down to earth, man. I've had another guy tell me, we have to be those guys in the city, like high level. But I'm over here like, no, like we're already there. Like don't think about it like that. Like just be yourself, be regular, be cool. People want to hang out with someone where they can communicate, not get talked over or belittled. Even though some people don't do it on purpose, sometimes it just happens in a tech setting. Sometimes, right? Um, but yeah, man, it's been fun, challenging. A lot of small little misstep. As far as missteps, I won't say I'll say another misstep. And it's probably a natural one, but just
Yeah, what is it?
just anxiety, man. Just wanting to execute. Like it feels like I have a fire under my butt this whole time. But in a good way because I want to build. Uh, it's like how you were saying you've learned to relax.
Like anxiety, how? Like what do you mean anxiety?
It might have just been natural, but like just like we got to keep producing. We have to keep the meetups going. Like we just moved in recently and we're furnishing, getting everything going, but now it's like, okay, we got another 3 weeks till our first meetup in the place. So got to make it look good. And not, I already know we're going to get everything. Like we already started sourcing out a bunch of stuff. So that's been nice and fun. Um,
Well, I will say this. It like over time, like it gets easier because you're just running seasons.
mm,
This is how I look at it in my head. We finally got a sponsor. Can you believe it? Vintech. They're a legal firm out of Dallas, Texas, who Pleb Lab uses. We actually use Jim, who is this amazing gentleman, Central Texas lawyer, straight shooter, and he does legal expertise, and he has this amazing thing called Vintech. It's a place where you can get access to legal forms. You don't have to use ChatGPT to spin up some kind of gibberish. You can actually get these legal forms that are there already pre-built. You get access to his consulting 2 times a month. There's 25% off all his legal work that he applies to the network of attorneys that he knows. There's no long-term commitment. It's all for $199 a month. He also has this other thing called Vintech Plus, which is 3 hours of additional services per month, which is contract review, drafting, LLC, corporate formation, all that kind of stuff. That's for $999 a month. And it's affordable business legal stuff for startups, founders like yourself. Use the code PLEBLAB at myvintech.com and get 10% off your subscription. And a big thanks to Jim and the Vintech team for backing the builder community and helping us push things forward. All right, let's get back to the show. Like you're just running, it's seasons. So it's like running any business where you have, it's seasonal. You have your keystones, you have your things that you do on a seasonal basis. You know the climate of your clients, you know the climate of your city, you know the climate of like the conferences that go on locally, you know the traffic of it, you know like the weather, all this type of stuff. So like I look at it like that. So like I know when what to expect, when to expect. Like I know when money's going to be strapped. I know when money's going to be flowing. I know. And then so it's just like running any kind of business like that. And then over time you just start building out these things. It's hard to explain in words because I'm terrible at speaking, but I'm great at diagramming and putting it into flow and all this kind of stuff. Like if I show you some of the charts and stuff, you'd be like, so like once you see all those things, you'd be like, oh yeah, I see that, what you're talking about. And then this connects there. So once you figure out all that stuff, then all you're doing is just following a workflow and seasonal flow and all that stuff. And the thing takes care of itself. And then you're no longer worried about stuff. Doesn't mean that it goes away. It doesn't go away. You're always looking for opportunity. But it becomes easier over time. And then you'll just work it out for what it is in San Antonio. I've come to realize that it's far better to focus on the hard things first, and that's usually just revenue coming in. So for me, it's always like this stuff is the fun stuff. Like I love doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the stuff that I should be doing last, right? Unless it leads to revenue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like do the hard stuff first, and then do the easy stuff last. That's why it's different now, because when you are like a nonprofit, that gets flipped because you have the luxury of having like grants, so you don't have to think in those terms. Or if you're like a somebody who has like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $10 million, that never crosses your mind. So you could just do podcasting all day. You could throw parties every weekend, and that never crosses your mind. But if you're a bootstrap business like Pleb Lab, then you actually have to think about these things. That's why I'm saying like it's completely different. That's why I'm saying it just depends on how, like, what you are, what your setup is, like all these things. That's why you should know what you're getting yourself into before you do it. And it really depends on the type of structure you are and stuff like that. I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry if it came out weird.
I like how you said about like you should know what you're getting into. I mean, getting into Bitcoin, I didn't know what I was getting into. You know, starting the meetups, I didn't know what I was getting into. But I know it just felt right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so far I've been blessed, man. Go to conferences, do all this stuff, meet a lot of people. But yeah, it's getting to the point now where, you know, it is real now. And I mean, it's been real, but now it's even more capital intense. You know, you do have to stay alive. People through the door, getting the sponsors. You know, you said about the money thing, nonprofits, we don't have to worry about that. It's like we still gotta rate. I don't know what's harder, asking for money or going and making money. You know what I'm saying?
Making money.
You would think, right? Nah.
Asking for money just requires you to be nice to everybody. I've noticed, like, as long as you don't piss anybody off, you're fine.
Well, I mean,
making money is harder.
Yeah.
It just requires you to be like, making money's harder for sure, but it just requires you to be extremely fucking talented. If you're extremely fucking talented,
doesn't matter what you do.
Like you can say whatever the fuck you want. You can, I mean, you can't say whatever you want, but you can say, you can do, you can even talk out your ass, and as long as you kill,
Respected still.
and you're still respected,
Mhm.
and you can be, but you can be a creative genius. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Kanye proves that, and like some of these other people that are
Elon.
like, that are like Elon proves that, right? Like
Yeah.
people that are super talented, creative geniuses, but they just kill it on the revenue side, right? And it's because they're super talented. And I think that's the thing there. If you're super talented, then you get forgiven for a lot of the stuff that comes out of your mouth. But if you're not super talented, you probably should shut your mouth.
Yeah. No, I mean, but yeah, tying into like about, yeah, it's hard for everyone, man. Raising money, getting money, staying alive in general. It's interesting. It's an interesting problem. I know me and you have talked a while back about, a lot of us builders like being builders because we see a lot of problems and we think maybe we can fix them or look at them, do something to
Yeah.
them. And like for me, I feel like that's just this next phase, and this whole San Antonio thing is okay. Now we're making a big shift. We're stepping it up a little bit. Yeah. What's always looking for how we can improve, I guess. Nothing's ever perfect. It's ever going to be perfect, but you want it to be as perfect as you want or as you can make it. Um,
Do you think San Antonio will be more of a education hub, you think? Because there is nobody that understands. So I'm going to the coast this weekend, and no one understands Bitcoin down there.
exactly.
No one, like, they don't get it. If anything, I would even argue that uh, I won't get into that. But Bitcoin's going to pass a lot of these people by, and they're not going to be able to get access to it before
For sure.
some of
For
these
sure.
exit ramps close from USD. So, do you think San Antonio is going to be this education center? Do you think it's going to be more of an education center where people will be able to come learn about Bitcoin and potentially, to get off of USD and be able to get access to some Bitcoin? How do you foresee Alamo Labs?
Well, we definitely take a lot of inspiration from a lot of the workshops that y'all do here at Pleb Lab, and um, I think what our goal back home is to try and convey that message to the locals there that are not technical, and be like, why Bitcoin, not just an investment. Like, it's where I go back to pulling the strings of hearts, and you do that through going to eat lunch with them, or through hanging out with them downtown when the local parade's happening, right? That we just had that all this past week. Um, cool swag. You make it. We're bringing in the San Antonio culture and what everyone knows and understands, and just merging it with Bitcoin, and then trying to seamlessly, I guess, bridge that gap between somebody who doesn't care about Bitcoin, but guess what? They care about having money to go eat the next day, or having money to go drink beer the next day, right? Something. Um, so I guess it's just getting that into their mind, as far as like there is an alternative. And then what I do see is, being so close to Austin, we're I can see us doing so much, which is great, but just given the amount of firepower out here, if they get to a point where it's like we can't answer these questions in depth or anything, or we don't know what else to say, it's like, hey man, just go to Austin. Those are our buddies up there. They'll take care of you, whatever you want to go talk with higher level Bitcoiners. It is the Mecca after all. And yeah, that's the whole thing, man, about pleb country. It's like, I know y'all are here to help us out. We're here to help y'all out all the time. And yeah, it's about, I tell people back in San Antonio, the point of Alamo Labs right now is we are building out basically trusted partnerships and friendships in the ecosystem. I was going to say ecosphere, in the ecosystem, where we can point locals in our city too, with the full backing of, they're not going to rug you, or they're not malicious. There's nothing bad about the company, So yeah, and it's a win-win for everyone. We are the middleman, and giving our local citizens great resources. And if they choose to go with any of these companies, the companies win, because then they get a new customer.
Right.
So it's just win-win for everyone. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it would be really cool to see like San Antonio become that first Bitcoin hub in like South Texas. Cause like, and then from there, like a McAllen or something,
Mhm.
or like a Brownsville. Cause I feel like that those places need Bitcoin probably more than any other place in Texas. Maybe El Paso. Maybe El Paso. I'm surprised Dallas doesn't have a Bitcoin hub at this point.
I think eventually they
Even Houston doesn't have a Bitcoin hub at this point. Like,
that
you
one's
know what I
new,
mean?
yeah.
Like, um, it's
Interesting.
kind of nuts. Like, yeah, it's kind of nuts. Like, I feel like Houston needs one. I feel like Dallas needs one. I feel like El Paso needs one. I feel like now that you have one in San Antonio,
One more.
um, yeah, it's kind of weird how there's not one in Houston or Dallas. I mean, obviously, I think McAllen needs one, like somewhere where there's one near the border, basically.
Oh yeah, I know.
And then obviously Mexico City has one, but and then there's one in there's a hacker garage in
Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Um, but yeah, you would think there would be more in some of these other, like, that's why I'm like surprised I'm surprised there's not more here in Dallas or Houston or like some of these other places, but there's one in San Antonio. Is it really here? Let me ask this. Do you think it really is just plebs having to do the heavy lifting, G? Like, do you think it, because it was like that here in Austin. Like, it was plebs having to do the heavy lifting for like
Mhm.
a while before more people having to come. Like, do you think it is really just up to the plebs to do the heavy lifting first before more Bitcoiners realize that like fertile ground is here?
Yeah, man. Plebs are the boots on the ground, the ones who live, with the everyday problems that the city faces. Yeah, it's I definitely see it. The boots on the ground people are the ones who have.
More skin in the game.
I mean, you have not. For me personally, I have nothing to lose, so it's kind of like, why not? Let's see what we can do. There's a Citadel right next to us. If we can't make enough noise for them to see us, then we shouldn't exist. Comes down to if it's gonna exist, if it's gonna be, it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? But with that, that that instills that fearlessness in me, and you keep moving for so long. Eventually, like I said earlier, others will see you moving and they'll catch the bug. I feel like that's what happened with me here in Austin. And that's what happens to everybody that comes in the pleb lab. You start seeing and being around so many builders, it makes you want to go learn a new skill or trade. Uh, Spend your time. You learn how their schedules are and you learn how they operate and why they are who they are because of what they do. So then, like, you look at your own schedule and see, man, this guy wakes up 4 a.m. to go run and reads for 2 hours and, works for another three, goes, has lunch back, banging it out.
Yeah.
And you just kind of tailor it, your own way, whatever works for you, whatever you're doing in life. And, yeah, you eventually start growing into the person that you want to be, that this person inspired you to be. And, you pretty much pass it forward. I feel like I got that bug from Pleb Lab out here and being in San Antonio for the last 3 years building. Now I'm starting to have people be like, oh, okay, whoa, like, okay, we can see it now. And I'm like, okay, you get it now? And it's been awesome because now that they come on, it's like you don't even have to like really put your hand on watch. I don't have to watch anything that they're doing because we all have this big picture in our head. So the trust is already there where I know they're gonna move right. Um, and it's the big thing about all this. It ties into how you were talking about why Dallas or Houston has no meetup. I think eventually what's going to happen, and it might happen now that San Antonio has one.
Yeah, I
So
think
now it's like
they're gonna hear the like one
instead
day
of
now.
Austin, yeah, now San Antonio has. So maybe Dallas and Houston will look at it and be like, "Why does San Antonio have one and we don't?" You know what I'm saying? Um, but I think everyone's looking. into it too much because of the work y'all have done here, which has been amazing. Um, they're thinking it's got to be a tech hub. It's got to be this type of hub.
And you're showing them like, no, it just actually just
It's
for San
different.
Antonio, it's probably
Mm,
a community hub or an education hub, and that's all it needs to
That's
be.
all we need to be. We don't need to try and be a pleb lab. If we don't have that firepower down there, why?
The only reason we're a pleb lab is because this is what the city tells us to be, right?
Yeah, I mean,
The city will tell you what it needs to
the
be.
community, yeah, was pushing it that way, and with us, it was just like that. So I think about like ATL Bit Labs. Are very blessed to have a lot of devs out there too, right? Who else? Uh, Trying to think who else is. I guess we might be one of the first models. I would say us.
Actually, you actually might be the
Yeah,
first model because
Reading.
in Denver is a lot of crypto people.
Yeah,
So it makes sense why they have a lot of crypto people at the
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
right? Like I think there's nothing but like crypto people there.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some Bitcoin people, but it's
Some
mostly
Bitcoin
crypto people.
Yeah, Denver all
But
together.
like it makes sense though. They're gonna have to move over to Bitcoin at some point. But like it makes sense. But like for San Antonio, you guys are more like on the education side because you guys were doing the La Primera, right? And that dude, I was blown away when you were showing me like the photos, you were DM me like all the photos, like what the hell? I was like, damn, bro, that's a lot of people. And you were like, you think? I was like, no, dude, that's a lot of people who are interested in the education side of
learning,
Bitcoin. Yeah,
yeah.
and learning about it.
Yeah.
Like that shows like that's a sign. Gee, like chase that. That's a sign. And so I actually think the city's telling you right there that, hey, we want that. So
Mhm.
give them more of that. Like the city will tell you, if you're in touch with your city, if you
Exactly.
like me, dude, like I'm one of those people that like I love going to my church. I love going to my parish. I love talking to my parish. I love talking to the community. I love going on the bus. I love going on the bus because I get to talk to regular people. I love going to places and just talking to people because I love talking to my community. Like I love talking to regular people
For sure.
outside of the Bitcoin space because I don't think enough people understand like being tapped into the city is very important because you get a good understanding of what's going on and what it wants. And I think that's important as a community, as community leader, is to understand what the city wants and the direction it's going. And so you have to be aware of that. And I think you're slowly understanding that. And I think good on you for seeing yourself as a community hub and saying like, hey, we just need to be this right now. And maybe it will slightly move this way, maybe it will slightly move that way. But good on you, man. Like that could actually be like really fascinating because what if you're doing like full on education stuff there and then over time you start creating developers and then over time you start creating founders and then you've also had to lay the foundations
Sure.
similar to us in the early days. Like
Oh, man.
that'd be cool. Imagine that, dude.
Yeah, no, and you keep saying the foundation stuff, and it takes me back to when my buddy Will came on full time to help. He said that without me telling him. He was like, "Yeah, man, I think I can see it now." He's like, you had to come in, lay the foundation first." He's like, "I think we got enough. I got enough here now. I know what I'm working with. I got." And I even stopped him and I was like, yeah, man, somebody has to build the foundation, but you keep saying it. And that's where all the hard work is at. It's like building a well.
Yeah.
Well has to have a strong foundation. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess my question is like, is the work ever over?
No, it's not. So this is where like, man, no, keep talking, keep talking. I can talk for hours about this because
Oh yeah,
I'm so
I
passionate
mean,
about
like,
it.
I guess
Yeah.
like if the work's ever over, we've hit a big milestone with getting our new place, and then now it's like, okay, now we're gonna add like 4 or 5 different meetups and like another 3 workshops. And one of the meetups, no one's even doing it in America, so I've kind of been like working how to do it and everything, but hoping just to open more eyes in San Antonio, get the word out there more, start the conversations in different places. That's what we're really focusing on here in 2025. We need to get out of this echo chamber of Nostr, Bitcoin, Twitter. We need to get into our communities and start talking to, your local grocery store owner, start talking to your pastor, just like you have. just like I have back home. Start talking to your aunts and uncles, and meet them where they're at. Don't get offended. Don't get, um,
Just listen.
just listen. Convey the message because you know how to talk with those people the best. So convey it in a way where you wish somebody would have told you in a way that you didn't understand back in the day, right?
Right.
You gotta have grace.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were you?
Oh no, I was gonna say I think it's fascinating because this all reminds me of just like parishes. Like I think and I'm only starting to see this now because there's more and more starting to pop up in Texas. So I think we need to operate more like parishes where and it's weird too because like I feel like God is like literally like telling me these, not telling me, but like he's opening these he's showing me these things and they're like and he's laying it out in front of me and I'm really slowly and it's like a year ago he's showing me these things and I'm really starting to understand why he's doing that because I didn't understand it, but now I'm understanding it basically because so like last year I was working, like I have my own parish
Mhm.
and then I was helping another parish like down south, but I go to this parish downtown for confession and sometimes mass.
Mhm.
But I have my own parish down south, and then I was helping this other parish down this other south for their retreat and stuff. So I'm working with like three different parishes, and it's weird too because now I'm understanding like the differences between the parishes because there's different groups
Yeah.
and they run things differently in each one, and there's all this kind of stuff, and I'm understanding like, and they're all with each other, like they're all
The message is the same.
the message is the same. They all do things completely different. They all like completely different. I mean completely different. They all have their own individual group, um, you know, um, you know, uh,
Like activities and bonding methods.
exactly. And even arguments and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that's normal. And they all have their own problems.
Even different ways they deliver the message.
Even that too. Even some of the things, you know, and so what's fascinating is I get to see like this the way it works all together. And what's fascinating is I feel like that's kind of what's going on kind of Texas right now. Uh is like you're seeing these multiple parishes kind of pop up all at the same time. I get to be a leader in one of them. And so it's just a great time to be alive if you're a Bitcoiner right now because you're witnessing this massive movement happen and where we potentially could possibly save the world from self-destruction. I don't know. That's how I look at it, man. It's a good time to be alive if you're a Bitcoiner.
It's fun. Yeah. It's definitely a ride for sure. Um, yeah, I like that was a really I didn't think about that, the whole different parishes and the same. It's interesting to be able to draw those comparisons. I don't know if I've said it on here, but I've talked about it on I recently hopped on Bitcoin Twitter again just to start talking.
Oh, you're on Twitter?
Going
What's
back
that
on
like?
kind of just keep my ear to the ground. I don't really focus too much on it, too busy building. But no, we talked about I was commenting on some people's thoughts and questions about like why is the Bible and Bitcoin, why are they so like intertwined? And a lot will even like go as far as like question, is Bitcoin a religion? You have people outside of Bitcoin being like, oh, it's a cult, all this stuff. But in reality, uh what it is Bitcoin is the truth. Zeros and ones. It's gonna say yes or it's gonna say no, right? And it's a form of truth. Yes and no, 0, 1. But you gotta look at the Bible, God's word, and it's like that is the truth. So if you understand like everything comes from God, and then you look at Bitcoin and be like, oh, just a byproduct of that's why it lines up. So it takes away all the nuance now out of it, and now I can look at it and be like, Bitcoin, faith over here.
It's weird because like I don't
Interesting.
I've never thought of like I never thought of Bitcoin as the same thing as Christianity, like Christianity. I mean, I have read Jimmy's
It's
book.
interesting.
I have read Jimmy's book, and I love that book, but I have never thought them the same thing. I do think it's weird that developers use similar language, like covenants and some of this other language that's biblical. I do think that's weird.
To tie into that, I spoke with Anu, shout out Anu. He was talking about like, if God is for everyone and Bitcoin is like, a tool from God, all this stuff. He was like, God's supposed to send a message to the world, right? You're supposed to be able to communicate with everyone, right? No matter what language you are. And I'm like, yeah. And he was like, all right, so look at Bitcoin code. He's like, it's universal, right? Anybody anywhere around the world can read it, understand it, contribute. And I was just kind of like, whoa, this got heavy and deep real quick. But it was a cool little thing that just how the word intertwines with all this. And um yeah, at the end of the day, it's a form of truth. And the word is the truth. So it doesn't freak me out anymore.
I think the only
Perplex me.
comparison that I can see is the pureness that Bitcoin brings from the very beginning, like the conception of Bitcoin, like way Satoshi did it, is like the only thing that I can see that is similar to
Something in the
is similar. I do think Bitcoin has this purity aspect to it,
Mhm.
and I do think that's why a lot of what we see um people want to come to it and do like JPEGs and so all these other things on it is because it does have this pure thing to it. So there are these people that want to come onto it and do these
malicious things, or
I mean,
not well intentioned things sometimes. But I mean, that's the beauty.
I mean, whenever something's pure,
Mhm.
people want to,
Corrupt it.
yeah,
Basically.
that's just life in general. That's just you look at anything that's pure, people always want to corrupt it.
Mhm.
That's just the way of life. Like you can look through history, it always turns out like that.
I mean, and that's the beautiful thing about life and Bitcoin and all this. It's like it's all a choice. No one's forcing anybody. God doesn't force you to do anything. Will he, you know, uh, try and persuade you to do something? Maybe, but I mean, he already knows the answer. You know what I'm saying? And that's I tell everyone it's a great time to be alive right now, because like something's always making somebody mad or ticking someone off. It doesn't matter if it's tech, government, sports, whatever you want, right? Music, entertainment, but it's all personal choice. It's like you don't have to like it. That's fine. I love it though. Just live with it. Like it's yeah, and that's the one power we all have too, personal choice.
Let's see. So yeah, let's jump into Alamo Labs. One more thing before we end this. So when are you guys actually launching? When are you actually launching? And then when are you like? Can people go get memberships right now? Where can they sign up? All that kind of stuff if they want to support.
So we're furnishing the space right now. Um, Planning for a rollout party. Looking around the Bitcoin conference time. So probably stay down here, hold it down, give the locals here that can't make it out to Vegas.
Wait. So say that again. So what date is that?
Oh, it'll probably be the 29th, end of the month. That's what we're aiming for right now. So we're very hopeful, very yeah, we're anticipating for that. If not, we might wait till after the conference, maybe do the first week of June. But yeah, we're up and running already. If anybody wants to come and work, they can go to sanantoniobitcoinclub.com, go to our sponsorship page. We have different tabs for different memberships. Pay monthly, can pay annually. Um, yeah, so we're about to get going, man. We're literally just putting furniture in right now. It's great. We have a bunch of plebs donating artwork and donating their time and services to help us out. It's really a community event. And yeah, now it's just time to get this show back on the road, you know what I'm saying? Get back to the schedule of things. What I'm comfortable with, you know.
So the first actual The
For
the
our-
first actual like event is going to be the 29th, you think?
we're aiming for the 29th. Yeah, if not the last Thursday, we'll do the first Thursday June.
Of June. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, we're coming.
So where can they? It'll be. Will all the event stuff be on the website, or will it be like on Meetup, or will it be on Twitter?
Yeah, so
Where y'all posting
we're
everything?
definitely active on Twitter. Gonna step it up on Noster. Meetup app, you can definitely find us. Our webpage as well. We're gonna definitely be updating it. Yeah, and also YouTube. I mean, gonna start posting daily content. That's one thing I would like to see from a lot of these third spaces, Bitcoin citadels, these labs. Gonna start doing daily content. Just what we're working on that day. What's going on in the space. But pretty much just keep it hyper San Antonio and just put our message out there to the world. And just like we and everybody did with Alamo Lab, I mean with Pleb Lab, just take the template, adapt it, and
Yeah.
just run with it, man. We're all gonna make it if we can all build this strong network of nodes. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, I saw your video that you did with the day in the life of a pleb.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
good, dude.
Oh yeah.
I love the way you edit that. That was really good. I always wanted to do one of those like vlog style, but I'm not that interesting, bro. I'm not that
I
interesting.
feel weird because I did it right before that style went real viral. So it looks like I hopped on the trend. But I just made it out of nowhere. Well, I made it because yeah, I was talking just consulting and I came to that day in the life of. But no, it's been cool. I definitely need to make another one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, just highlighting San Antonio, man. Maybe somebody sees us, they come down and
Yeah.
they want to add some value or something. We've Since putting out the message, I will say we have received a lot of good feedback from the space and from just the general population. Um, so yeah, full steam ahead, sir.
That's awesome.
Very excited, very
Dude.
excited.
Well, just for me personally, so proud of you, man.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
super proud of you. I'm like your number one fan.
It's not me. It's
Well-
and that's what I tell everyone. And it is nice to hear. I appreciate it. But
Well, let me finish. Let me
Yes,
finish
sir.
this. Let me
My
finish
bad.
this compliment. Car, just I'm so proud of my little brother G. I can't be like I don't know. I don't know. I've been watching you grow up this whole time because I've known you for like 4 or 5 years at this point.
Mhm.
Just so proud of you, man. Since I first met you, and then see how far you've come, and just all the struggles and the determination you've gone through and you displayed, and to see you get to this point is just it's just remarkable. I don't know how to put it in words, but every time I think about you and see and to see the amount of stuff that you've done for yourself and for your community, I just think to myself, it's like Francisco. I just can't. I tear up every time.
Yeah, I just know. And I'll say this: it doesn't happen without Pleb Lab. It doesn't happen without Austin Bitcoin Club starting up. Y'all were and y'all are. Y'all, I'm just giving you y'all's flowers.
Did you
man.
talk to Kyle? No, Kyle.
Told Kyle, he already
What did he
knows.
say?
Kyle knows he's got a place forever in my heart, man.
Jeez, what did he say when you told him?
Nothing. He just kind of just takes it like whatever. He knows. You know how Kyle is. He's kind of just like, but yeah, I always tell him too, man. Without Kyle, there is no G. A lot of
Yeah.
the framework of being a leader, what it is from him. Just his leading style was very different. And yeah, that's another little thing, just nitpicking, grabbing the best things, and just
Yeah.
continue to watch y'all, man. Y'all are gonna keep pushing us, even though y'all don't know we're watching y'all. We are. We're always talking about Austin. Yeah, a lot of respect for y'all, man. A lot of love, and yeah, we just want to make Texas proud, man. Make pleb country down here proud.
Pleb country.
Yeah, man. Make this the ultimate spot
Dude,
for
we
anybody.
should make a map like of Texas and just
We
put
will.
it like Austin, San
Be cool.
Antonio, and just like make a new country out of that.
I can work on it.
Yeah, that'd be
Work on it.
cool.
But
be
yeah.
crazy.
So we're now, yeah, it's as much as a big thank you is to us. I can turn right back around and tell y'all, continue to support us. Y'all been great for the community, and you push everybody. The space has only gotten better since Pleb Labs came into the frame.
Damn.
So I look forward to 2025, man, seeing what we can do, seeing what y'all have up y'all sleeve, and just everybody else in the community, man. See who's coming with it this year. So
yeah, it should be fun, dude. I
it'll
mean,
be
I think
great.
we need more parishes, and like I said, I think this will be the year.